everyone, and welcome to Detroit. Detroit is in the Great Lakes region of the US and Canada. So this region has 5 lakes that are essential to trade because they are all connected to each other and lead out to the Atlantic Ocean. The Great Lakes are the largest group of freshwater lakes on Earth. So Detroit was settled by colonists in the 1700s for fur trading. Eventually, Detroit became a hub for the automotive industry in the early 1900s. Henry Ford revolutionized auto production by creating the assembly line, which his competitors began to use too. This, plus the access to trade via the Great Lakes, made a boom in the auto industry and gave Detroit the title of Motor City. What you see on screen is called Campus Martius Park. This is in the center of downtown Detroit. There's also the Detroit city skyline. And the next photo is from the Detroit Jazz Festival, the largest free of cost jazz festival in the entire world. It's an annual festival that brings artists together from around the globe and brings the entire city together. Next, we go to the Detroit Institute of Arts, or DIA for short. This museum has one of the largest and most significant art collections in the US. It features collections of American art, Native American art, African art, Egyptian art, Asian and Islamic art, European art, contemporary art, and African American art. What you're seeing here is called the Rivera Court. This is a mural done by Mexican artist Diego Rivera. The mural was painted between 1932 and 33 and depicts the Ford Motor Company industry with images of the assembly line, machinery, metal forging, and more. So inside this court is where the DIA has different events and even concerts. So here's a photo of a piece by Micheline Thomas, an African-American artist that's in the DIA, and another piece in the DIA by famous Spanish painter and sculptor Pablo Picasso. Speaking of artwork and African-American artists, here is an outdoor art installation in Detroit called the Heidelberg Project by Tyree Guyton, which is named after the street it's on the east side of Detroit that he grew up on. Tyree is a painter and sculptor who transformed his blighted community on the east side of Detroit into a living indoor-outdoor gallery. Through Guyton's work, he has brought attention to the plight of Detroit's forgotten neighborhoods, sparking conversation and action. Here's a photo of Tyree Guyton himself. And then here's a couple photos of some things that you could see while at the Heidelberg Project. Next, we go to Eastern Market, which is an area where there's a farmer's market every Saturday all year round. Vendors line stalls and indoor-outdoor sheds selling things from fresh, locally grown produce to tacos, pierogies, coffee, and more. So this area also has different shops and storefronts, restaurants, and there's even a jazz club in this area. So here's an example of some of the produce that you could find. But also in this area are many, many murals, and here are just a couple examples. Since we're on the topic of food and produce, I wanted to show you an example of a Detroit classic, Coney Island hot dogs. So what you're seeing here, this on the left and then this on the right, are 2 restaurants that serve Coney Island hot dogs. So Coney Island hot dogs are typically served with chili, mustard, and onions. You could also add things like cheese as well. Coney Island restaurants also serve classic American foods like hamburgers, sandwiches, or breakfast foods. So here is an example of the inside of American Coney Island, which was on the left, and then the restaurant that was on the right, which is Lafayette Coney Island. So these are 2 rival Coney Island restaurants in Detroit, and only 2 of many, many Coney Island restaurants that you could find in Detroit. And finally, we go to Belle Isle. So I said in the beginning of the tour that Detroit is in the Great Lakes region, but I didn't mention that Detroit sits on the Detroit River. And just across the river is Canada. So Belle Isle is an island in the Detroit River that on one side faces Canada and the other side faces Detroit. The side you're seeing here is the side that faces Detroit. So Belle Isle Park is home to the Belle Isle Aquarium, Belle Isle Conservatory, Belle Isle Nature Center, the James Scott Memorial Fountain, the Dawson Great Lakes Museum, a golf course, a swimming beach, and numerous other monuments and attractions. Belle Isle is the perfect place to go in the summer to hang out with friends, ride bikes, go for nature walks, and watch the sunset at Sunset Point, which is the part of the island you're seeing now. So here is a photo of what the island looks like in the river. On the top left is Detroit, and on the bottom right is Canada. Here's a photo of the island itself. You can see here's the fountain in the middle, and then here's all the nature that you can hike on trails. And then you can also see Sunset Point, which is right here in the very top. So this concludes our tour, but we hope you enjoyed seeing Detroit and feel inspired to visit in person. Thank you so much for joining Young People Travel Global Edge on our tour today.